As you have not met the profit
What the
quota,
fuck?
your performance has been deemed below standard. Welcome to our disciplinary process.
Pikachu.
El proceso disciplinario.
Warning, this video was made before episode 8 came out and is made with the intention of not taking into consideration episode 8 and the future episodes except when I use that rule for toilet paper. Enjoy. Can you set me free? Do, 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 do. Will you take my soul away? Do, 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 do. Now that I gave PTSD to half of the fandom, we can continue. The truth is, this episode is interesting, not only for that part, but it has possibly the best action and drama of the entire series, and honestly, I'm excited to talk about this one. Although, it also means that there's only 2 episodes left to talk about. And one for the series to end.
¿Qué hacemos con él?
Yo digo que hay que cortarle el pito justo por el escroto.
¡No! ¡Déjenme! ¡No! ¡No!
You already know it, we're watching all the chapters and I will try to upload this before the end of the series, which, spoiler, I failed to do. If you like my babbling, ensure so that more people know about this series, and without further ado, let's go with this episode called Dead End. Or Sin Salida, as Google translated. Thank you, Google. Always useful. The episode begins inside what appears to be an abandoned laboratory, where we see a drone trying to hide from something, while it seems to try to save another that is motionless. However, it fails. And we see how they tear to pieces. It turns out that they are creatures in the form of robotic dinosaurs which emit a light that completely paralyzes the drones. Yep, this is a reference to Jurassic Park. It seems that they've run out of movies to reference. After that, we return to the surface, where the characters meet. Uzi meets Tessa.
There's this little...
Apparently Jay is still alive because she was cloned.
Effective drones were cloned more.
Okay, I'll remember that. And by the way, if the most effective drones are cloned more, why did they clone you? I mean, you're the only one who died doing her job. It will make more sense that they clone someone like, well, after winking at those who have already seen the episode, Tessa explains to us that she managed to escape and that Sin disappeared and that her last location was precisely in the exoplanets. However, Doll steals the cockroach and runs away. To which I say, why did you do that? I mean, they were all looking for the same thing, stopping Sin and find a cure. Wouldn't it have been better since they don't have opposing goals to stay together? I mean, you said it yourself, that when you found what you were looking for, you will go to help Uzi, so why don't you go with the rest of the group? It's safer, and there's no one who has different goals as far as we know. Do you hate B so much that you'd rather risk going alone? Well, they chase her, but she gets away, and after that, Tessa decides that Jay has had enough screen time. She then explains that Doll thinks that the humans infected her mother with something that she ended up inheriting, and proceeds to do the same thing I do when I wanted to know if there's fall damage on a video game. That is, a cancerbero.
Coming on what?
Y el corazón tu pum, tu pum.
Forget it, I'm not putting you in his harem. Okay, after doing some research, we found a convenient drawing that a drone made with its soil.
Human-made security this experiment can control. Maybe.
I think I'm in love, you know? Well, suddenly something catches Tessa, and her characters go for her. Well, apparently there's a baby in the middle of the hallway, to which Anne, showing that he has more brains than an average horror movie protagonist, does what must be done. Oh well, it's more like... It turns out that the child is the son of Coraline's other mother, since he's half spider and climbs up to the ceiling. However, something appears from behind.
Hey, surface slickers.
Wait, does that thing affect the murder drones too? Well, Uzi wakes up and we see that despite everything, she and B are trapped by someone else. Her name is Alice, apparently she knows Nori, and she has a grudge since she abandoned them in that place. On the other hand, Anne is being torn apart alive. But since this guy is an angel, he ends up making friends with his executioner, which is the baby, whose name is Bo. However, Uzi is being a nuisance, so he has to go help Alice. While this happens, Tessa takes the opportunity to escape with Anne, something that Uzi managed to see through the security cameras. However, she begins to ask Alice for some answer, but let's just say she's not interested in answering.
Easy, creep. You've got the wrong...
Nori, right? Sure thought killing all them folks was pretty slick.
¡Qué puerco! ¡Qué...
I'll be honest, it's incredible that the series managed to make me feel that when I saw it for the first time. Knowing that they are robots, that's an incredible achievement. Well, here we see that Anne asks if they are going to save both V and Uzi. However, Tessa reveals something that Anne didn't know until now. But before that, we go with Alice, who takes advantage of the security systems to release the dinosaurs that they call Sentinels. So they kill Anne and Tessa, who reveals the truth to Anne. It turns out that Sin tore the Earth to pieces, and apparently the Absolute Solver mutates inside damaged AI, and that the humans of the exoplanets, when trying to control the Solver, the only thing they did was spread it, creating the so-called witches. So Tessa tells Anne that she's here to find out which drones are infected and destroy them to prevent the Absolute Solver from spreading further. So Anne has to choose whether to save everyone or Uzi, the universe, or your small little drone. Oh, how sad. Take it and distract yourself with this. Uzi tries to use the Solver to save Anne, but by forcing its use, Sin begins to take control of his body. Meanwhile, Tessa tries to do How to Train Your Dragon, but it doesn't turn out very well, let's just say. After the Sentinel gets a stroke, Sin manages to possess Uzi
Don't mind.
and proceeds to destroy the security system. So things get out of control really quickly.
Bo! Help me with...
Bo sacrificed himself to free B, but in the end, it's Sin who kills the Sentinels. That was creepy.
Wakey, wakey. Don't say I never did anything for...
B claims to Tessa that she could supposedly control the Sentinels, which she couldn't, and tells Anne that since Uzi is injured, they should leave. But as is tradition in the series, Anne never takes B's side. Surely B is a fan of Haluva Boss, so Twitter validates any opinion she has. I'll talk about those zooms in the future. Well, while a beautiful song plays in the background, our protagonist set a trap for the Sentinel that by Tessa. Since Sentinels don't attack humans except for that one, so it's the only real threat. So they set up a trap for him while Uzi tries to confront Anne, who seems very worried.
Why didn't you shoot? I mean, you had him in your sight and you didn't shoot. What the hell? Well, that thing goes away, and we see Doll in what is clearly a trap, but they take so long that Tessa goes and takes the mechanical cockroach that apparently works like a key.
That's convenient. It's a trap. Yeah, no, never mind. No!
Bloody convenient, eh?
I love you.
Don't talk about it, 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 and wait until you talk about the series as a whole. By the way, this is the first time Anne blushes for Uzi. I think it's a victory for the shippers.
Ew.
Don't date my robot, please.
You have no right to talk, and I quite like that joke. But Doll was not unconscious and proceeds to free a bunch of sentinels, which Tessa managed to scare away with her blood, but the damaged sentinel arrived just then, so things get complicated. To make matters worse, Uzi starts to lose control again for having tried to use the solver, to which Anne decides to cut off his arm. The sentinel is about to kill Tessa, but B arrives and saves her using his glasses, which are still broken by the way, so that the sentinel's light doesn't affect her, and proceeds to face him in an excellent fight while the rest enter the elevator. I hate this trope. Look, murder drones, you like to break stereotypes, but you fall before one of the worst? Really? You have it in front of you! Shoot!
Yeah. Uzi? I trust you.
Why? I mean, why do you trust her? I mean, you guys haven't had enough development for that to feel like a natural comment, but okay, I guess. Okay, I'm not gonna cry. No, not at all. No, I'm not crying. You're crying. But oh my god, there was enough time for you to jump into the elevator. Why didn't you? I'll tell you why. Because the writing dictates that at the end of the story, at least one character must die. And after ruining the most emotional moment of the episode ends. Now we go with the good stuff first. Okay, I have to be quite honest with you, and I don't want you to get angry, okay? If you don't agree with me, it's just my opinion. Okay, in my opinion, this episode is excellent! What the hell? I didn't expect this chapter to be so good. This is without doubt my favorite episode so far. It has all the action, drama, suspense, and various light moments of good comedy that can make you smile without breaking the tension. First things first, the obvious. The animation, which not only maintains the quality but looks smoother than before. The animation of the Sentinels above, the fight between B and the Sentinel. Glitch has always made clear its high level of quality, but here they exceeded. Then the atmosphere. There's almost no comedy, and the little there is does not ruin the feeling of constant danger. Added to the great design of the scenarios, it managed to make you feel a sense of constant danger throughout the episode, and that everything can go wrong at any moment. It slowly builds tension so that when everything actually goes wrong, you feel scared about how the characters will be able to get out of it. And the music, oh the music, that each episode only improves, serves as the final touch of a perfect meal. Speaking of the characters, individually, There are still issues of lack of development, but I love them together. I love their dynamic of the whole team. I love their dynamic when they are together. Their personalities combine quite well, and I'm mad that we're not going to have a second season to see these characters on another mission together. I love everyone in this chapter, and it's an example of what can be done when you have a character who's simply good and morally correct, which is to push him to the limit. That is what they do with Captain America and Marvel Studios. Steve Rogers was simply a good guy, so let's put his goodness to test by sending him into morally difficult situations. And is very nervous. He has to choose whether to save his best friend, who he knows has a crush on him, or kill her for the good of the universe. The other one who finally got to shine is V. She hasn't had much development, but I really like her personality in this episode. She's not just a crazy anime girl anymore. Now that she's not afraid of Sin erasing her memories, since in the last episode when Uzi hacked them, she became her administrator. So she's no longer looking to escape from Sin and wants to end this. V has a protective, almost motherly personality in this episode without losing the diva traits that she had with Lizzie. Some people said that what happened is that her old personality has been fusing with his new personality, and that's why she acts like that, which sounds great, but we haven't seen that because this series, like always does, it never explains or shows you anything. I love Tessa in this episode. And in general, she's an outgoing, silly girl full of energy that also adds a pretty good moral debate and makes things not just about good versus evil. On one hand, we have Sin and the Absolute Solver who we don't know what she wants. And B and Uzi are looking for how to save Uzi and prevent the Absolute Solver from hurting them anymore. Tessa, on the other hand, has a noble goal to save the universe and her species, but she doesn't want to hurt N either. That's why she tries to convince him. This leaves the viewer confused. You have the protagonists who want to save each other and with whom you as a viewer spend a lot of time. On the other hand, you have Tessa who wants to save her species. So it's not all rainbows and good versus evil. There must be a sacrifice from one of the two sides, which by moral standards is a very virtuous thing to do, but not everyone will have their happy ending. And Uzi and B are the protagonists, and this makes Tessa look like an antagonist in her perspectives. And for Tessa, it's not easy either. And remember that she loves her drones, especially N, and now she has to kill her best friend to save her species. Oh my god, what a good plot! So much potential! I hope they're not going to ruin it with a surprise villain or something that simplifies everything to good versus evil in the next episode, right? And although Uzi is more of a hostage in this episode, we see a tender, more caring side that we never seen in her before. How she puts aside her gremlin side to help Anne, who's clearly not well. And as I said, I love how everyone is a member of team works out. Jay still doesn't have any screen time, but that's normal. It's like Millie's episode in Hell of a Boss. We're never going to get it. The short we have with his sister is going to be the closest thing we have to her. Finally, Sin. I love the Absolute Solver in the episode, but Sin in general. She has a more ethereal and ephemeral presence. She only appears for fleeting moments, but every time she appears, all she does is make everything worse, which adds a feeling of being against the clock, because if Sin makes everything worse just by appearing for a few moments, imagine if she takes full control of Uzi, which increases the tension even more. And the ending, although I will talk about it later, it doesn't happen like sometimes since it feels like they are forcing a cliffhanger. Here, it feels natural, and I really wanted more. I want to know what is under the elevator and what happened to the characters. Well, that will be all. Let's go with the bad, which is not much, really. Okay, there's only three things. First of all, the episode... How do I explain this? First off, this episode feels like Cars 3. I mean, Cars 3 is undoubtedly very good, especially comparing it to its predecessor, but it feels like the conclusion of something that never started. It's like after Toy Story's release, the next movie is Toy Story 3, which will still be pretty emotional, but it wouldn't have the same impact without Toy Story 2. That's what this episode is. It feels like an episode is missing. It feels like an emotional climax of characters that we've seen interact with each other for a long time, but since except for episode 4, we've never seen the characters develop bonds with each other, it makes me feel like I missed something. And the one who comes out worst of this is B. Be honest. From episode 1 to 3, she's your crazy anime girl. Only in episode 3 she apparently shows that she knows more than she lets out, but we never see anything interesting done with that, except for fleeting moments where she seems to feel bad for Anne, and she immediately goes back to acting crazy or trying to kill Uzi. And in episode 5, she barely has any dialogue. And while I love her personality in this episode, when did it change? I feel like I missed an episode, and unfortunately, intermission is not canon. Second is B's death. It's not the fact that she died, but rather how she died. First, why don't you shoot? B had multiple occasions to shoot and kill the Sentinels, but she doesn't, never. And for a series that does a great job breaking stereotypes, for it to fall into one of the most basic feels so annoying. It bothers me. Or how she could jump into the elevator and did it. Same with the line.
I trust you.
Why? So far their interactions are reduced to, "Oh, I hate you, stop trying to steal Ed. Boo-hoo, he doesn't love you, he has a crush on me, so get a dunk it on, loser." I mean, we never saw them interact with each other in a way that wasn't arguing and be almost killing Uzi. Where does that trust come from? And that's the problem. Not only with the chapter, but with the series in general. The moments are very strong, but the previous build-up is quite weak. Finally, Doll. Why did she act like that? She literally sets up a trap to kill Uzi and the rest of the group. But once again, I said they don't have different goals. Like, why does she go with the rest of them?
Why didn't they form a team?
Why did she betray them and run away? Why? Why did she went alone? She herself said it. When I get what I'm looking for, I'll be helping you too. If you really want to help Uzi, like, why did you set up a trap for her? Well, that will be all. We're missing one more chapter at the time I write this, and then the analysis of the series. As such, I'm quite proud.
Although the series is going to end,
reviving these moments was quite fun, and I don't regret it at any moment. Well, that's all from me. See you in the next one. Bye bye!